It's time to cash out those tickets and vent those frustrations. Parlays, payouts, and the wagering woes is on the air with your hosts, Robert Phillips and Bryson Granstra. Now enjoy the show, or don't care as long as you listen.
Welcome to Parlays, Payouts, and the Wagering Woes. I am your host, Robert Phillips, along with my co-host, Bryson Granstra. Bryson, say hi.
Hello.
Last week, not a great week for us, was it?
No, we got took into the woodshed. Yeah, last one was a bad week.
There are a few points that I probably would need to remind you about. The Jets, we're going to agree to not do that anymore, right?
They can't get out of toxic relationships. And I've been in a toxic relationship with the New York Jets all year. I'm swearing off of them. I'm done with them. I know I said that before, but I mean it this time.
I swear I've heard you say it before.
Keep promising me that they're going to change. I take them back, and then they do me dirty.
We do have a couple voicemails that I received from last week. If you guys would like me to play those.
Please do.
Okay, here's the first one. Let me start that over.
You know what, Bryson? Unlike our great American history, which is tremendous, really the best in the world, nobody has a history like us. The Chiefs escaped with a win today. Some might say they got lucky. Some might say it was skill. But either way, folks, they snuck out with the WL. Just barely, believe me.
Our president-elect Donald Trump left us a voicemail. You almost called the Buccaneers upset.
Almost. First off, I really appreciate Donald Trump taking the time from winning the election to make a little shout out to us. I definitely appreciate that.
Quite amazing, yeah. Thank you, Mr. President.
I will say one thing, and maybe we'll have to clip it on later, but I think the play of the year so far.
The stiff arm with the throw?
That stiff arm with Nick Bosa in his face throwing it. And that was on fourth down. 4th and 7.
I believe I messaged you right after that and said Baker Mayfield is a football god.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland literally just has to be just kicking themselves in the balls. All that, the fact that they let that dude go.
Along with kind of the Rams probably too. He probably could have taken them to the Super Bowl too.
I mean, because he's got more, probably going to be playing longer than Matthew Stafford. Well, definitely longer than Matthew Stafford. He's already.
And I remember when he became a free agent, though, this last time, and the Raiders were linked to him a little bit before he re-signed with the Buccaneers. I was so like, I do not want that guy as my quarterback. And right now, I would do so many dirty, dirty things to you to get that guy as my quarterback.
I've always been a Baker Mayfield believer. I always have, even coming out of college. He was my QB1 of that draft. Yeah, just what a career, the ups and downs. And Tampa is not in a great place right now, but it's damn sure not because of Baker Mayfield. That dude's balling.
How we've said before, he has no weapons right now. Nobody has.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to talk shit about Baker Mayfield, I ain't got any time for it. Dude's great. Like, just the last thing I'll say about Baker, to show you how good he is, Cleveland hadn't won more than one game in 3 years. And he took them within 2 years to a couple first downs from beating Kansas City in Arrowhead and taking them to the AFC Championship game. All the Baker Mayfield haters can just fuck off.
I would rather have him than Deshaun Watson.
The sky's blue. Water's wet.
We do have a second voicemail.
Ho, ho! Merry Christmas, Bryson and Robert. This is Santa Claus calling from the North Pole. Just wanted to let you know I lost all my money on your bets this week. Yep, I checked my list. I checked it twice, but still came up with a big old lump of coal in my wallet. Now, Santa's not one to complain. Ho, ho, no, but maybe we could get a little Christmas miracle next week. All right, you two, stay on the nice list and, maybe help old Santa turn his luck around, eh? Ho, 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 talk soon.
I thought we were going to get a bipartisan. I thought maybe Joe Biden was going to speak. Sorry, Santa.
He still thinks this is, 1946, I think, last time I heard.
He's very confused. Be dead. It might just be an animatronic What do we got this week?
Well, we gotta make some Christmas money because
The time is getting short. We need to start stacking wins.
Santa's a hurting apparently. So let's save Christmas.
Let's see. There you go.
Right into the Washington Commanders against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles have a way better defense, more experienced quarterback, the more talented running back, better wide receivers. Eagles win.
I'm with you. I actually think this is going to probably be the first Thursday night football game that's actually going to be good, though. Jaden Daniels is, like we've talked about, he's legit. So anytime you have that dude there, you know, the Washington now, they have a good enough quarterback to where they can win every single time that they step on the field. I do think that Philly probably has more ways to win, and they probably do win. But I'm excited. Look, that's going to be a good game.
The one thing I could guarantee, I would almost 100% guarantee, like I would bet your firstborn child on this one bet, Jalen Hurts scores a rushing touchdown.
I mean, for Brooklyn's sake, I would hope so, yeah.
It almost has almost better odds of that than them winning the game.
I do agree with that. I think he's going to put up some rushing yards on it. I think it's going to be a real good game, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game too.
You'll double down on this bet?
I would. I would take the over too. I do think that it's going to be. I think
All right.
it's going to.
Well, this same game parlay of the Eagles winning, Jalen Hurts touchdown, and the over, or your firstborn child.
That's just one less mouth I have to feed, and I have a lot, so it's a win-win either way.
Whew. Probably growing mouths to feed. Let's move on. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's going to be Detroit. Like, it's not even close.
I mean, no like expertise. No, they got
Detroit
the
after
overall team.
Detroit's probably the best. After last week, Detroit's the best team in the NFC.
They can win with their quarterback throwing 5 interceptions.
Yeah, like legit though, that is how you know a team is really good when they can play like dog shit and still find a way to win. That's like I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but right now, as of November 13th, they're the best team in the NFC.
I would say the NFL.
I still think there's some teams in the AFC that could beat them, but we could get into that. I think it's the Chiefs' world. Everybody's living in it, and I think Buffalo and Baltimore are right behind
The
there.
Chiefs are kind of barely hanging on to that top spot.
I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll get to that as we go on down the list.
Okay, little foreshadowing.
Foreshadow.
Maybe people don't even know that the Chiefs play this week.
Maybe they don't even know who the Chiefs are.
Maybe they're like, what are Chiefs?
Yeah, maybe they're like, why are these two guys talking to me?
Who is Gamora?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Different movie. Did we just become best friends? What's your favorite
John-
dinosaur? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What's that? Was it favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to? Good housekeeping.
Oof. Okay, we should go on to the next
All right, let's move.
next game. The Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. This is obviously Green Bay. Chicago's they just fired their offensive coordinator. He was only half the problem. And the fact that, they have a head coach that doesn't know up from down, left from right. He couldn't tell from a ball sack from a vagina. I don't know. There's lots of things he gets confused about, I hear. Lots of locker room talk.
You have really in-depth analysis. I appreciate your.
Dude, I got to talk. The locker room manager for the Chicago Bears, he's my best friend's cousin's uncle's aunt's grandmother's baby mama. And
Just
so
like
he
brother.
told-
Well, on that note, I'm taking Green Bay. Funny little story. So I have a 5-year-old right now that was born in 2019, and his entire life, the Chicago Bears have not beaten the Green Bay Packers. So bear down indeed. The Packers are going to beat them. It says they're projected by a touchdown. I think it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be like 10 to 14 points. I think Chicago's done. I think all the Caleb Williams hype it's hit the shitter. Good vibes are gone.
that That Hail Mary really just killed him.
Yeah, we were right. We said it was going to kill him, and they looked like absolute shit last week.
We could almost make a compilation of the times we've said that now
Yeah,
about that play.
it really did. That Hail Mary really did kill their season.
All right. Yep. So the Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears. The Los Angeles Rams at the New England Patriots. I don't know why, but the Patriots are kind of a tough team. They're almost what I wish the Raiders were.
It's kind of tough because it's like, I don't know, are they good or have they just been playing a couple of like
Bad teams.
bad teams lately? Because last week the Rams, they got beat by the Dolphins, and I don't think hardly anybody saw that coming. So
No, because
Are
they
the
should
Rams-
play on football fields and not in the ocean where dolphins are. The Dolphins have the advantage in that situation.
that probably would have helped them if they would have played in those. Yeah, it's just so this game is really a toss up. But like I've always said, if the game is even match, I always go who has a better coach and who's a better quarterback. And the Rams have both of them. So I would pick the Rams. And it's a rematch of one of the worst Super Bowls of all time.
I do believe that the Rams win, but I think it's probably going to be closer than people think.
I do too. I don't think it's going to be it's going to probably be almost maybe identical to that really boring Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But yeah, I pick the Rams to win.
Ooh, this one here, the Cleveland Browns at the New Orleans Saints. I know earlier in the week, the Browns were the underdog, which was my favorite underdog pick of the week. And now it looks like it's a pick 'em. So I still think the Browns win this game.
The Saints are interesting because both teams are interesting for different reasons. The Saints, obviously, they fired their head coach. They beat the Falcons last week, which I don't think anybody saw coming. The Browns, obviously, they have their whole issues going on right now. Who'd you say you went with?
I said the Browns.
I'm going to go with the Saints because Winston used to be in New Orleans not that long ago.
The revenge narrative.
I mean, I would think that the Saints would have a good, have got a lot of reps going against him in practice. And Winston's not going to reel off a bunch of, good performances in a row. So he had this one against Baltimore, and they won that. So it's a pick 'em, but I would pick the Saints.
I feel like Derek Carr doesn't have anybody to actually throw to. I feel like last week was just all, the whole them rallying behind the coach and stuff like that. And I'm a big Derek Carr guy.
I mean, this is one of those. There's a couple really good games this week, but the most of the week, there's a lot of crappy games, and this is definitely going to be one of them. And it's at home, it's in New Orleans, so I would still think New Orleans would win. That's my pick.
So we keep this off the parlay then, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Minnesota Vikings at the Tennessee Titans. This should be obviously the Vikings. Better everything. The Tennessee Titans. They're a better team than people think.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Minnesota's going to win. I mean, it's not going to be quite as bad as that 9 million point ass whooping that the Lions gave the Titans a couple weeks ago. But Minnesota.
And it could be.
Probably comfortably. I mean, I don't. At least 10 points.
And the spread's only 5.5. You want to bet 10, huh? I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I bet they at least beat them by 10 points. So I could easily see going the over because it's only 39 points. I could easily see that because it's not like the Vikings have a great defense and they blitz a lot, so they get a lot of pressures, they get a lot of turnovers, but they give up big plays too.
But they would be blitzing against Will Levis.
True, they could get some garbage time touchdowns. So I think if somebody wanted to go the over on this one, I could.
All right, moving on. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. My Raiders suck. We fired our offensive coordinator. That was a smart move because he doesn't know football very well. I can tell that by the way he calls games, and it makes me sad. And I don't like being sad. I don't like it. Fucking Raiders. We're going back in time. We hired Norv Turner to help run the offense. Why do we keep doing this?
Like recently, you were hired Norv Turner?
Yeah, well, I'm not me personally. I'm guessing it was some kind of a Mark Davis decision because he runs the team, and he does not consult with me.
Did Tom Brady approve this?
Fuck, I guess so, yeah.
God, Norv Turner's still around in the NFL?
I think he's just being, he's an offensive consultant or whatever, because I think it's like his son-in-law or nephew's grandson, some kind of weird shit, right? And
Like, to put this into perspective for the listeners, Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys back when they were winning Super Bowls in the early 90s. So he's been in the NFL for a billion years. So I can't believe that he's still – I mean, he's got a lot of success, so, good for him. But, man, Norv Turner, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Who are we going with? I mean, Miami, right?
Yeah, we're going Miami. It was a little Raiders rant because they fucking suck, and oh, my life.
Hey, this is some therapy too. We talk about not only we talk about winning money, but we also talk about the highs and lows of fandom. And you being a Raiders fan, you've had way more lows over your life, like low. Feel free to express them. Let them out.
Yeah, at a later time. I think I've done enough for now.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy listening to them. So
I'm not gonna cry though.
Yet.
The Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oof.
This could be sneakily the best game of the week. Like, Pittsburgh is good. Pittsburgh's good. And Baltimore is really good too. It's not going to be quite as physical because the early 2000s or mid 2000s, I should say, Ravens Steelers games were so physical, so physical. How football should be. It was just a magical time, and if you didn't get to watch it, I apologize, you missed out. But I think this is going to be a really physical game, and yeah, I think this has the potential to be the best game of the week. And it's crazy that it's on. It shows you there's some big games this week. The fact that this is on at 11 o'clock, I think they're going to split it this year. I'm going Pittsburgh.
I don't know what to say about this game because I don't know who's going to win it.
Yeah, it's going to be physical as shit. The only thing, okay, let's think about that.
I could see this game kind of becoming more of a shootout. Oh man, his defense is not great
because Pittsburgh had a really tough game last week against the Commanders. That was really physical. So can they come back from that? Then Baltimore, I think Baltimore won pretty handily last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Why is it so hard to remember week to week?
Yeah, I don't know. It's we lost so much last week, so we just kind of want to
drink a lot.
I think I'm with you though. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be a good one. I think that they're going to split the series this year, and since it's in Pittsburgh, I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh with you.
I think it's going to be a good one though. It's going to be a good one. Lamar Jackson's playing really well. If Russell Wilson's deep ball is so good, it's textbook. Yeah, you're right. He has the best. That moon ball shot where if once he hits it, it's really something special.
But that's all he has. He can't short over the middle. Nope. It's like if you go outside and try to throw a football over your house. That's because he's short, so that's how he has to do it. Right. And earlier I kind of laughed for a second because I saw the game that we had to talk about next, which is the Indianapolis Colts at the New York Jets. It is Anthony Richardson starting again for the Indianapolis Colts against Aaron Rodgers. I can't believe I'm going to do it, but...
Say it. I know you want to. Go ahead. Say it.
I'm going to take the Jets.
I think if I pick the Jets, my wife will divorce me. We probably should leave it off the parlay. But I mean, yeah, this is just two crappy teams. my, my wife overruled me, and she picked
Nope.
the Indianapolis Colts.
We are going with the Jets. There's no way I can pick Anthony Richardson to win.
Over Aaron Rodgers. God, it's so tough. Yeah, gosh, damn the Jets.
The Jets still have the better overall defense. They had a better defense when they had Robert Saleh, but they still have a better overall defense. The Jets will win this game. They
I feel
still
like
suck as a team, but they will win this game.
5 years, there's going to be a book written about this calamity season with the Jets, and it's going to make a lot of people money.
We got the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. This one here, I think the 49ers do what they didn't do last week and actually win this one kind of handedly.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to more full strength again and better defense, better quarterback. Same thing I've said for a few other teams. Better overall everything.
I think San Francisco is just better, literally everywhere. And I think there was a lot of hope and hype going into this season about Seattle, and I think they've kind of came out the gate falling a little short. So they're a little disappointing this year. San Francisco, they're not great, but they'll beat Seattle.
All right, next we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Broncos.
I'm going Denver.
Okay.
I think Atlanta, I don't know how good Atlanta is. I don't know how good Denver is, but the game's in Denver. Yeah, I'm going Denver.
I just think I think Atlanta's better. I think Denver is a little bit of a fraud. I think people think they're better than they are because of what happened last week. And last week was a divisional game.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is better than Bo Nix. Head coach is up. I've given my opinion about Denver's head coach many times, so I don't need to get into that again. We could go with Atlanta. I could see it. It's definitely one of those pick'em games, I think. So the next thing we got, and honestly, I'm really surprised that it's not the Sunday Night Football game. It's Kansas City and Buffalo. These are the two best teams in the AFC, two best quarterbacks in the league. Josh Allen's playing incredible. Kansas City's undefeated. Like we were talking about last week about what's the closest to Brady Manning, and I think it's Patrick and Allen.
I like how you went with one's first name and the last name for the other.
Yeah,
I'm
so excited about this game. I think it's going to be great.
So for the people at home who don't know, Patrick is Patrick Mahomes. That's a teammate of Travis Kelce, who's dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly. So Taylor Swift's boyfriend's best friend, and is Alan still dating that Haley chick?
Who?
I think he's dating an actress too, if I'm not mistaken. Josh Allen.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she should be so lucky. He's a big, handsome, talented kid.
What did he get in trouble for before the draft?
Oh, he made some tweets about I think it was if
quoting rap songs, huh?
Yeah, and he was like, if it's white, it's right. Just stupid shit a kid from Montana or whatever would say.
Yeah.
Back to the game. This will be the first time this year that they play each other. They will play each other again. This game means more to Buffalo. Obviously, if this was the playoffs, I would pick differently, but I'm picking Buffalo here. And I think
Buffalo's the better team right now.
Yeah. It's going to be close like all games. I mean, it could come down to who has the ball last. I mean, every single one of these games are literally some of the best football games you'll ever see. But I'm going Buffalo.
I could almost see Buffalo winning by 13.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, but the cool thing is if that does happen, then afterwards we'll clip this and I'll sound really smart. But if it doesn't, then we'll forget I ever said it. But I also think Buffalo wins.
Kansas City has this unique ability to where there's an inevitability about them to where it could be 3rd and 52. And you just in the back of your mind, you're like, well, they're going to make it. They're going to make it. I know they're going to make it. Or there'll be some penalty or something. And,
it's usually that.
But yeah, I think it's going to be Buffalo.
Did you hear about that thing with Taylor Swift and the female referee or something, taking pictures before the game?
Yes, yeah, I did. I did hear about that. Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Here's a real question: is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, is their relationship real? Because I don't think it's real.
Like,
I think it's PR. It's PR.
you don't think they really do it?
No, he might be gay. I don't know.
He does seem a little fruity
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think. Well, now that he's starring and like he's got some show on FX, we all know. We all know how that goes.
Start with beef or what?
With Travis Kelce.
And Jason Kelce. I'll take on Jason.
Jason Kelsey's a dude. Like Jason Kelce seems like a cool dude.
Yeah,
like,
but we're gonna use this beef to springboard onto like.
So you can throw him like that one guy that was talking shit about his brother.
And then afterwards, hopefully, we can be friends with Jason.
Yeah. Jason's
Not
cool.
that.
I love Jason.
But Jason, we want to be friends with Jason Kelce.
Yeah, Jason and his wife seem like they're actually cool humans. Kelsey he started out as a Gronk wannabe, and then he's
went through a couple different weird phases.
He isn't even qualified to make Robert Gronkowski a sandwich, let alone be compared to him as a tight end.
You really hate Travis Kelce. That's what I just found out. That's a weird. The last statement was a weird thing.
He's talented. He's a talent. He's a big wide receiver. But like, we're going to compare him to Robert Gronkowski. Like, fuck you.
Why do you keep saying Robert Gronkowski?
Because when you're that good, you get your full name.
He was born Rob.
I'm going to add the Bert.
Did you not?
No, I'm adding the Bert. I'm adding the Bert.
He wasn't born Robert. He was born Rob.
I am adding the Bert.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, so we picked.
Anyways, yeah.
We picked Buffalo, right?
Buffalo.
All right, next we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Los Angeles Chargers. Really, the Bengals. Can the Bengals outscore what their defense lets up? Because the Chargers don't have an exciting offense. They have a good defense. The Bengals have no defense and an exciting offense. I know, I feel like I'm probably saying all this stuff that everybody knows.
This is definitely two good quarterbacks. I think that Harbaugh is not even comparable a better coach than Zach Taylor is.
Who was a better quarterback?
That's good. This is that like second tier of quarterbacks in the NFL. If I had to pick one, I would pick Joe Burrow.
Oh, no. I didn't mean that. I meant quarterback between the coaches.
Oh.
Harbaugh and Zach Taylor.
Well, Harbaugh did get to the NFL as a quarterback. Zach Taylor did not. Yeah, this one's a difficult one. Like,
who has a better quarterback? That's Joe Burrow. Hands down.
I mean, Herbert's really, really good. Jim Harbaugh's a really, really good coach. This is really a pick 'em. Jamar Chase has just been absolutely like belt to assing the league. Like he's fucking on one.
That fantasy score of mine that I posted on our TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
What was it last week? He had like almost 300 yards receiving. Like, it's crazy. Like, he is just like, he's on one right now. Like, the Bengals are at their best when Joe Burrow throws it to Jamar Chase just repeatedly.
I think they should be getting T. Higgins back, though, too, here. I'm not quite sure on that, but I think the Bengals win.
Yeah, Bengals.
I don't know the conference standings for sure, but I feel like the Bengals, they have to win to keep any kind of hope alive.
I think it's kind of honestly both of them. The AFC is so stacked because obviously, I mean, the Chiefs are going to win the division for the Chargers, but the Broncos are like right in there. So the Chargers can't really slip.
I feel like the Broncos will fall off.
The Bengals really have to because more than likely the Steelers and the Ravens are going to make the playoffs this year. So the Bengals really, they have to start piecing some wins together. Yeah. I'm going Bengals, but I mean, I think it's going to be a good game.
All right. We got the Houston Texans at Texans at the Dallas Cowboys up next. This one's obviously Houston. The Dallas Cowboys are fucking silly.
All right. I have a conspiracy theory.
All right.
Jerry Jones loves to make money. I mean, we all do, but Jerry Jones loves to make money. He loves to be the talk of the town, right? He put Dak out there. Obviously, Mike McCarthy's gone after this year. Dak's hurt. Do you think he's keeping all of this shitty team around so that way they're like the number one pick or like a top 2 or 3 pick next year in the draft? And then there's going to be a certain quarterback that's coming out next year. And that certain quarterback has a certain father who used to play for the Dallas Cowboys back in the day.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You can't sit here and tell me. It doesn't have to make sense to you and me.
I don't think it's possible.
It just has to sell tickets.
I don't think it's possible. I think the salary cap wouldn't allow it. If they trade away Dak or let him go, it'd be too much dead cap money.
All you do is you keep Dak there. They draft Shador. He sits on the bench for 1 year. Deion Sanders becomes the head coach of Dallas. I'm telling you, Jerry Jones will do this. Jerry Jones is a ridiculous human being. Like, he literally is an absolute douchebag.
I think Shedeur Sanders is getting drafted by the Raiders next year.
No, he is a cowboy. He is a cowboy.
Unfortunately, because I'm not a big believer in Shedeur.
I'm not saying I am either, but him and his dad sell tickets, and they get attention, and Jerry Jones loves attention. I mean, yeah, I'm telling you, Shedeur Sanders will be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback next year, and Deion Sanders will be their head coach. If not next year, the year after that. Book it. Take that to Vegas. Don't forget all these other bets. Bet that one.
As of right now, there's nobody under contract to coach the Cowboys next year.
Yeah, because the coach of the Cowboys is coaching the Buffaloes this year. Especially if Colorado is able to like sneak in to the college football playoff.
Yeah, but I don't know if Mike McCarthy is not under contract for next year.
No, he's out. He's gone. That's gonna be a 2-for-1 deal.
Recapping this, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, the Packers, the Rams, the Vikings, the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Jets, the 49ers, the Falcons, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Houston Texans. That 13-leg parlay with odds of plus 30,652. So $10 we get you $3,065.28.
That's pretty good. And maybe take out the Jets if you want to learn from our mistakes. But I feel good about all of these. There's going to be some good games this week. Definitely the 2 games I'm most excited for is Kansas City and Buffalo, and then Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I think they're going to be hell of great games.
Yeah, a lot of good ones.
Bears suck.
But that's it for today. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we win some money. Remember, when in doubt, cash out.
Go Pack, go.